It is better to be alone than in bad company. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. If freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep to the slaughter. To be prepared for war is one of the most effective means of preserving peace. The alternate domination of one faction over another, sharpened by the spirit of revenge, natural to party dissension, which in different ages and countries has perpetrated the most horrid enormities, is itself a frightful despotism. It is impossible to account for the creation of the universe without the agency of a supreme being. The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. Government is not reason, and therefore never will be governed by it. Associate yourself with men of good quality, if you esteem your own reputation, for 'tis better to be alone than in bad company. My mother was the most beautiful woman I ever saw. All I am I owe to my mother. I attribute my success in life to the moral, intellectual, and physical education I received from her. We should be constantly aware that our liberty is constantly menaced. Few men have virtue to withstand the highest bidder. Happiness depends more upon the internal frame of a person's own mind than on the externals in the world. Let us therefore animate and encourage each other and show the whole world that a free man contending for liberty on his own ground is superior to any slavish mercenary on earth. A sensible woman can never be happy with a fool. The unexamined life is not worth living. It is not the number of troops, but the quality of the troops that determines the success of an army. To conquer ourselves is the greatest of victories. The best way to preserve peace is to be prepared for war. Liberty cannot be preserved without a general knowledge among the people, who will be as alert in guarding the rights of the public as of their private interests, and this knowledge can only be acquired by education. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. The great rule of conduct for us in regard to foreign nations is, in extending our commercial relations, to have with them as little political connection as possible. The basis of our political systems is the right of the people to make and to alter their constitutions of government. The power to do good is the only essential superiority. The United States is a nation of laws and must be governed by them. The love of liberty is the love of one's country. We should be careful not to let our zeal for liberty overleap the bounds of prudence. The time for action is now. It is never too late to do right. The best way to ensure good government is to educate the people. Virtue is indispensable in a republic. The Constitution is the guide which I never will abandon. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. The difference between killing a man and eating him is simply a matter of choice. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. The only way to win an argument with a woman is to agree with her. The best way to destroy an enemy is to make him a friend. The only thing worse than a bad neighbor is no neighbor at all. The best way to predict the future is to create it. The only way to learn is to teach. The best revenge is living well. The only thing constant is change. Guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism. Observe good faith and justice towards all nations. Cultivate peace and harmony with all. Be courteous to all, but intimate with few, and let those few be well tried before you give them your confidence. Let us raise a standard to which the wise and honest can repair. The rest is in the hands of God. We should not look back unless it is to derive useful lessons from past errors, and for the purpose of profiting by dearly bought experience. The Constitution is a guide which I never will abandon. Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire called conscience. Liberty, when it begins to take root, is a plan of rapid growth. Worry is the interest paid by those who borrow trouble. Laws made by common consent must not be trampled on by individuals. Happiness and moral duty are inseparably connected. Associate yourself with men of good quality if you esteem your own reputation, for 'tis better to be alone than in bad company. There is nothing which can better deserve your patronage than the promotion of science and literature. Leave nothing for tomorrow which can be done today. I hope I shall possess firmness and virtue enough to maintain what I consider the most enviable of all titles, the character of an honest man. The best investment is in yourself.